Hello and welcome to SWTOR Core, a new Star Wars The Old Republic show that covers all things Star Wars The Old Republic, UNU, or SWTOR for short. The way the show works, it covers various things: gameplay, what's happening in the game, what's coming up in the game, and then ending it off with what I'm up to right now. So to start off in gameplay, let's start right at the beginning. What class should you even play? First off, do you want to defend the Republic, or do you want to fight for the Empire? Now, a lot of the Galactic Republic storyline is based around defending the weak, saving the innocent, and things like that, what you would expect. Now, there is various options you can take during the narrative to make a dark side choice where it would be expected for you to make a light side choice. Like, it's so opposite, but you have the option to do that, which makes for some interesting story. And then you have the Empire. Now, they're your straight-up evil faction. You know, murder, mayhem, betrayal, sabotage, slavery, all of that's in there. But like the Republic side, you can make light side choices that were expected for a dark side decision or character or choice, and it really makes for some interesting narrative and switching things up there. So you're not pigeonholed. Even though you pick evil or pick good, you still can be bad or good on either side. But remember, all the classes, they do play the same, just different visual effects. Let's start off with melee. Now, to not get confused, I'm going to use mostly Republic side naming. Now, don't worry, Empire characters, I'm going to get to you as well. But just to make things simpler and not be confusing, I'm going to be talking about Republic side naming. Just for now. Don't worry. So to get us started off, we actually have the strictly melee DPS class, no tanking or healing possibilities. It's the Jedi Sentinel. Now, using two one-handed lightsabers and having 3 specs focused on damage, represented on screen probably most famously by Ahsoka Tano. Togrutas are available, by the way, so if you want to take your own clever take on that name, you can. Next is the Jedi Shadow, wielding a double-bladed lightsaber. This class can go invisible, has 2 specs focused on damage, but can also tank in group content as well. Now, this class is most predominantly represented by the character Darth Maul, and since this is an MMO, just like him, you can die many times and keep coming back. The last force-wielding melee class is the most well-known, and that is the Jedi Guardian, a single lightsaber-wielding class that has 2 DPS-focused specs, 1 tanking spec, and is represented by many in the franchise. Take your pick. For the non-force-wielding melee, there's the Vanguard, a short-range attacker with 2 DPS specs, 1 tanking spec, represented by clone troopers on the Republic side, or eventually stormtroopers. And I have to mention the Empire side as well, because when it comes to non-force wielders, because they use different weapons, although the class plays the same. So for Empire, you can also have the Bounty Hunter Pyrotech, represented by probably the Mandalorian from the TV show The Mandalorian. The next non-force wielding melee character is the Scoundrel, a short-ranged, cloaking, healing, DPS spec. That's right, it's a melee class that can cloak and heal. Not too bad. Now, it's probably most represented by Han Solo. He prefers a straight fight to all this sneaking around. Even though he's a scoundrel, so he can sneak. Moving on. Now over to the range specs, and we're going to focus more on the Empire side. Again, the classes play the same, they just look visually different, that's all. But they do play the same. First off, for the force-wielding range spec, which is actually the only ranged force wielder, is the Sith Sorcerer, a lightning-wielding ranged attacker that has the ability to spec in healing for group content. The class is most well known because of Emperor Palpatine, and hey, you make a Sith Sorcerer, even you can walk around asking everyone you meet if they've heard the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Next is the Mercenary, a long-range attacker that focuses on keeping its distance. Like the Sorcerer, it can also spec into healing. For the Empire side, probably most similar to Cad Bane. You're going to need to find a nice hat right away. And on the Republic side, the Clone Trooper, known as Heavy. Because, well, This next class is actually pretty interesting. It's the last class is a range-focused class, range focus, And it's all about damage. It's got 3 specs that focused all on just dealing it out. The Sniper and its Republic counterpart, the Gunslinger, is also the only class in the game that can utilize cover. So ducking behind something, gaining damage resistance. This class isn't really directly connected to a main character, but it is represented probably by the bounty hunter Ara Singh. If there's one that I missed, let me know in the comments by writing in all caps and telling me how I'm not a real fan. And, because I didn't read that book that was published 18 years ago. Now, what's currently in SWTOR? Well, what's currently in right now? The Bounty Hunter Week, that's gone. She gone. But what's going to be taking its place in the new bi-weekly event is swoop racing. That's right. No, not that swoop racing. That's from KOTOR. That's different. No, this is SWTOR swoop racing. I mean, yeah, it's basically like you're in one of your mounts, and it just can kind of go a little bit faster or slower, and, you have a new action bar there. But it's going to get better. It's good that they've added this. It honestly is. It's adding 3 new reputations. You can get some mounts, you can get some outfits, you can get mini pets. There is good things about it. It's also going to be on Dantooine, Tatooine, and Onderon. Although patch 6.1.2 recently came out on June 22nd, the actual Swoop Rally event isn't going to begin until June 30th. Which, the way these events work, they're bi-weekly. So we get this week gap, because we just had Bounty Hunter Week, and then, boom, 30th, Swoop Racing. See you there. The new patch has brought many different things, including this new fandangled interface here. Look at that. Look at that, right there. It has the Who tab, Friends tab, Guild tab, your mail. Then in the drop-down menu, it has your main quest, what's the current quest, and what's new and hot on the cartel market. Pretty cool. Players can no longer swap utility points or equipment during an active boss encounter in operations. In any PvP queue, players are now locked into their discipline from the moment they sign up. So it's not until after they leave the Warzone and arena can they switch again. But the biggest thing, bigger than swoop racing, bigger than the interface changes, bigger than any of that. Look at this. You see this? I'm not clicking the X in the top corner. I am closing the combat proficiency tab with the escape key. Well done. Well done. Now for the upcoming story and upcoming stuff. Well, patch 6.1.2 won't be delivering a story continuation. An additional story only comes on patches like 6.2, 6.3, 6.4, things like that. The dot doesn't add story content. And 6.2, now it was supposed to be coming out in June, but like many things, COVID-19 has kind of screwed everything all up. However, Star Wars The Old Republic creative director Charles Boyd sent out this tweet on June 15th stating that one of the main delays that they were faced with is over, and they have now commenced adding voices to their work. It shouldn't be long now that more updates are going to start coming out, and that's really cool to see. I like that. I have been playing the game since it first came out. I've even got the Founder's title. However, I played so sporadically at first and then took such a long pause. It's only last year that I finally got my first max level character. I know. So right now I'm focusing on just even getting the class stories done. That's kind of the big push right now. This is probably going to upset a few people, but the 3 class stories that I don't have finished and I'm working on them right now is the Jedi Knight, the Sith Warrior, and the Agent, the Imperial Agent. I know, arguably probably the 3 best stories, class stories in SWTOR, and those are the 3 I haven't done yet. Best for last, I guess. So I'm working on the Knight right now. I'm on Hoth currently. So being on the Republic side, that means I have Belsavis, Voss, and Corellia to go to finish up my class story. But once I'm finished with my class story, I'm going to focus on picking some favorites. And I want to have 1 ranged, 1 melee class, which is one's going to be from Empire, 1 from Republic. Because the way the new content comes out, the new expansions, they seem to, it's just kind of one big story. It's no longer class-based. So I just need 1 Empire, 1 Republic, and I get all coverage across the board. So that's what I'm going to do to be able to get it all. Just need to get the class stories finished, pick my favorites, and that's what I'm going to move on with. I want to thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, please let me know. Did I mispronounce that one thing that one time that you thought was funny? Whatever it was, just, hey, well, what was it? If you didn't like it, well, you get what you pay for, and this was free. I would imagine free laser eye surgery wouldn't be very great as well. What I am going to be doing is I am going to put a referral link down below, just because if you want to do it, if you haven't subscribed before, or if you haven't used a referral code in 90 days, use it. You get some free stuff, and anything I get from it, I'm going to try to save it up, and I will keep track of it. So I'll gather enough up, and I'll turn it into a prize later on, perhaps. So at this point, I know you're supposed to end the video with soft music, scrolling credits, but I don't want to. So see you later.